My parents are ignorant and don't understand that typing skills aren't enough to get a great job. I'm a mid-20s female. Most people my age know how to use computers. Knowing how to send an email is not a skill and will not make me stand out from other applicants who also know how to use computers. My parents are idiot boomers who didn't even finish school. They don't know how to text or use the internet. My mother is an only child and inherited her parents' home at a young age, and my father got a settlement years ago. After getting injured at his factory job, he now lives on disability because his back hurts. My mother works part-time minimum wage in a hospital cafeteria. They're always talking about how easy it is to live on benefits minimum wage, and that they can't understand why other people complain so much. They also can't understand why I can't afford to rent an apartment. I've explained to them multiple times that the minimum wage in my country is €1,600, and the average rent is almost €2,000. And there's no point getting a second job because I'll just get heavily taxed, so my income will barely increase. They are morons and just keep saying that I know how to type, so I should be able to get a top job in an office. They also seem to think that retail workers are rolling in cash and that minimum wage is more than enough to live on, that people who complain are just greedy. I'm currently unemployed and am struggling to find a new job because literally nobody responds to my applications. I did go to college, but my degree is useless and I haven't used it. My only experience is admin jobs and warehouse. I don't want to do an apprenticeship because I have no interest in any of them, and I'm not willing to work for a pittance while I train for years. I have mild Asperger's and have no connections networking contacts. It's extremely difficult for me to actually blend in with people, and interviews and applications depress and terrify me. I'm completely fed up with this world. My poor social skills have ruined everything, and for a variety of reasons I haven't committed to a career. Lack of funds, no real interest in anything, depression, anxiety, apathy. I just want to create something that will make me rich or win the lottery because I'm sick of scraping by. Realistically, I'll be stuck with low-pay jobs for a long time and I'm in such a rut, I'd rather just die. I have no skills that make me attractive or marketable. Typing is not a skill when everyone else my age and younger can do it too. All that said, given some of the emails I've received from apparently professional businesses, knowing how to type a professional-sounding email is absolutely a skill. My mom got married young, had babies, and was a stay-at-home mom. She's never held a job. My dad, at a job that did not require a college degree, made enough money to support a family of 5. While we were not rich, we did okay. My mom criticizes all women who are not stay-at-home moms. She thinks that the reason she was able to be a stay-at-home mom is because she simply loved her children that much. She will not admit that boomers had it very easy, from a financial perspective. She just thinks that current women simply don't care enough to be stay-at-home mothers. Sometimes I wonder about this. How many of the upper management people at my company got their job on the fact that they possessed these technical soft skills that are now a base requirement? Some of them have been here for over 30 years. I know you're frustrated. I work in an office with plenty of people who get paid pretty well. All of them have useless degrees. It still worked out for them. So, don't lose hope. Have they already told you to just walk in and leave your resume, as well? I saw a thread the other day of people talking about how learning to type was a huge deal for their career. I really can't comprehend it. Who born after the 80s doesn't know how to type? Make another post saying, can people please explain for my parents why typing skills alone aren't enough for me to get a great job, and then show your parents the post. I say make a new post, because they would probably get mad at you for this one. Have you tried picking yourself up by your bootstraps? Boomers are big on that here in the States. Just know that you will literally never lose money overall by working more hours, even if you pay a higher tax rate on the second job's income. You'll just pay slightly more in taxes, and slightly less income, but it will increase your income overall. Not saying you have to get another job. Taxes just don't work like that. My parents think it's a great idea to just cold call a bunch of businesses and tell them you need a job. My best friend's parents were like that. We had a plan, however, to bring them back to reality. We started watching a lot of movies, TV shows that had an updated view of the world. I remember her mother joining us during an episode of the IT Crowd and the famous Have You Turned It Off and On Again? And then they laugh at the stupid people. She had a look of terror on her face when she realized that calling the IT department every week or so was making her look incompetent, and not someone resourceful like she thought. You mention you have mild Asperger's. What I would suggest is check if there are any employment resources explicitly for that in your area. Such things exist specifically to aid people with Asperger's and autism getting a job. If possible, talking to a therapist about your depression and anxiety might be helpful too. I know it's not easy, but it can help turn things around. Best of luck. Exactly, you need to have a firm handshake, too. As far as I'm aware, the only thing that typing skills alone can get you is data entry, and in this day and age, data entry is considered unskilled labor. I don't think I've seen a single data entry job that paid more than minimum wage. Like, yes, you can get a job, but it can't be considered a great job. Although personally I really like data entry, IDK. You can learn to wield electrical or plumbing. Another option is teach yourself how to code and build a few programs and get your foot in the door. In my 10 years as a software engineer, I have never been asked what my type speed is. Unless your country is very different, then your part about not getting another job due to minimal increases in just false. That's not how taxes work. Marginal tax rates mean that if your income goes up and you go into another tax bracket, you only pay the increased taxes on the amount over the line you are, not the entire income. Relatable. Have you tried going to a trade school or community college and earning a certificate for jobs that are hiring? Typing, sometimes referred to as keyboarding in today's terminology, is still a valuable, marketable skill. I've known so many people in the office who were still hunting and pecking and as a result were very slow in producing necessary paperwork, and who also made many errors. It's not just about being a secretary. If you can type 60 words per minute, you'd be invaluable as a shipping receiving clerk, a purchasing agent, etc., at many companies. What's wrong with your degree? What's it in? Christ, we get it, shit is tough, but you seem awful. Please note that writing an email is a skill. Just anyone with half a brain who needs to function knows how to do it. Hardly sets you apart, but it is a skill. What? How old are your parents? I'm 50, easily old enough to be your mum, and Gen X are more than competent on both computers and the realities of the workplace. Can't imagine anyone my age or close thinking being able to write an email is sufficient computer literacy to land a job on that merit alone. I think it's time to dig for gold. Find a rich SO. What you describe, the mom who inherited a home and the dad on disability checks. I've always found people like this to be incredibly low on empathy. It always seems like they have massively low awareness about how much worse their lives would be without the inherited home or the disability checks. It's like they can't imagine people are out there starting at zero and having to work on the hamster wheel. I'm sorry, bud. Life's a shit sandwich. Maybe coding? Fuck, I don't know. Your parents are morons, but you went to college for a useless degree. You have no interest in apprenticeships, or in jobs that pay entry-level wages. Your only plan is to create something that makes you rich, but you haven't actually tried that yet. You need to grow up. Sound like a little bitch. Do people really talk about their parents like this? You called them moron, and yet here you are not understand how taxes work, and have a gambling problem based on your post history. Sound like the apple doesn't fall very far from the trees. So you've made shit decisions, don't understand incremental income tax, and it's everyone else's fault. Got it. Face with tears of joy. So you are blaming your poor choices on your parents. You have to own your mistakes and go fix them.